We're live, my friends, and I sound dead. Oh. Welcome to 20 Minutes of Coffee with Ken Napzok, the return episode. I don't think I'm that bad. Let's jump right into it for people who are watching later. Don't have long intros on YouTube, kids. Just fade in and go. Just fade in and go. It's 20 Minutes of Coffee. 20 minutes of coffee, and I'm okay. I'm okay. Worst problems in the world. Always. That's how I often start my day. I wake up and I go, no, not again. Then I say, well, there's worst problems in the world, and there are. We might dive into some of them. I might take a look at the news. I might not take a look at the news. Sometimes you just don't want to, and that's okay. You know, sometimes you want to hang out with friends like Michael McCarcel in chat. He's been waiting for the show since. Put it up. Put a nice comment. Hope you're feeling better. Ken, I'll talk about that. Laserbolt videos. Good morning. David McKay. You can't stop the Zoc. Nah, you can't stop the Zoc, but you can certainly try. You can certainly try. That is a truth. So happy to be here. Laserbolt, going inside talk. For those who swing through after because you're not a channel member, become a channel member so you can join the live conversation. Laserbolt, I've stopped playing Madden for a while. Even when I was sick, I was playing other video games. But when I was at the height of my sickness, I was playing some Madden, and I had one of the toughest losses I've had on a video game, on a sport video game. And I wasn't even angry. Didn't throw a control. I don't really do the throw controller thing, at least anymore. That's pointless. I don't want to be that angry over pixels. But I had such a heartbreaking loss in the fourth quarter of a game on this raised level. If you guys aren't watching the game streams, the Ken's Monday Night of Football, you know what I'm talking about. That I needed to stop playing because my heart was being broken by a football game on a I was going to say computer. Fancy computer, the PS5. And I thought of you, Laserbolt, as a Detroit Lion fan. You know that kind of pain. PLD Projects is here. Best part of waking up. So for you, you're already awake. Well, PLD has a weird work schedule, so I don't know when he's awake or asleep. I don't know what he does. Sean Room is here. Ken, coffee? Sounds all right. Real McCoy here as well. I got my Team Zoc coffee mug, reliable. Available in the Stream Elements store, as is this beanie and the Team Zoc merch. Check it out. Merch. So yeah, we'll go to the web here shortly. I see on my preview page that we got 50% off Roomba or something going on. Well, I can't wait to bring that ad over to the live stream here. Yeah, so do you say contracted COVID? I was hit with COVID last week from a what I think was a family trip. It's hard to blame. You don't want to blame, but I hadn't really left my house leading up to the one-day trip I took, and then I came back and started feeling some mild compared to other cases, including some friends of mine who suffered losses in their families because of this virus. So I know my place and perspective on it, but I hadn't got it. 4 years now, going on 4 years that I had not got COVID, and was always cautious and careful, always vaxxed up. But there were some situations where I was like, well, I'm definitely going to get it now. Everyone else in this hotel room has reported that they got it. I'm next. No. Everyone else in this hotel lobby bar has reported that they got it. I'm next. No. This never happened. So maybe I got a little cocky, maybe got a little careless, but I just got my fourth vax, which was kind of the newer shot, not a booster. It's like a newer shot. And little sniffles, Oh, I think I get some allergies. By Saturday of this past week, I was down and out, and I'm still I'm good, not contagious. Everything's good. We're past that. We're at the negative show 'em point. But which is good because I got things to do. I got life to do. I got money to not make. But it sucked, and I lost a job. I was going to be working a job this week. This show wasn't even going to happen. I was working a little temp seasonal job, and before I even set foot in the job to start, I lost the job. I didn't lose the job. I had to say I'm sick this week with COVID. I can't come in. and it was such a short seasonal job that there was no point. So great. I call this the $1,000 sniffle and cough. But we're here. We're okay. Worst problems in the world, but cool things too. So I'm going to bring the news up, and you and chat catch up with all that, as I know there's a little bit delay. But before I move on, David McKay says, "Yikes." At least I got a little bit of a different register right now. I can run with this. And this is, I didn't really, I recorded Force Center on Monday, but we always record remotely, so, I wasn't around anybody. But I thought I sounded okay. But then I recorded a motivations video, which will be out Monday, back doing the motivations, and I sounded like this. Run with it. When life gives you lemons, sound sexy. I was going to look at all the news, but then I saw that the Spinal Tap sequel, which is official, will feature Sir Paul McCartney and Sir Elton John. Did CNN mess that up? I'm not saying Marianne Garvey, the writer of the article, did. Could have been her editor of that headline. J.W. Bassman here. Thank you for being a member, as always. I have a kid in public school, so we are sick 3 weeks a month. I have some friends like that. I have some friends, God bless them, who every third week, and you're right, JW, it's about every third week. By the way, you deck the halls, we'll clean the floors. Up to 50% off on select Alexa and iRobot products. You guys click on that right now. And yeah, that's the case. And they're just like, yeah, my kids are sick again. I'm sick. The house is sick. It's about every 3 week rotation. Yeah, so David McKay is here, and maybe we'll just do some happy news. Maybe we'll just do happy news in the time we have here today. David McKay, Spinal Tap 2. Is this real life? Yeah, this kind of, I don't know if it slipped under the radar screen, but also, again, when you look at Israel and Hamas, and you look at Ukraine still going on, you look at Trump, anything, Henry Kissinger passing away, we can talk about that. I think this is Spinal Tap 2 might just kind of pass by and not be noticed. But I think this is pretty cool news. Now, there's always a danger of going back to the well. There's always a danger of, should we do this? Just leave something in the past. But here's the thing for me. I don't know what you guys, this is Spinal Tap's one of my favorite movies. I'd call it an influential movie. Christopher Guest and the mockumentary series, and even though he doesn't love the term mockumentary, which I agree why, he went under some of my favorite films. A longtime fan of Michael McKean. I love Harry Shearer. He's a known prick. A lot of people will point out he ain't nice. I've heard it from so many people. It's hilarious how much you hear it. Including my old program director in radio was living in New York in the 80s. And after Spinal Tap was filmed, or during the filming, around the time of the film, he played street ball. He played some basketball with Harry Shearer, and he called him a nasty man on the court. And it all tracks. It all tracks. But I love them. Rob Reiner will be directing. I think that's really cool. By the way, just saw Rob Reiner's Albert Brooks doc on Max. I recommend it. It's great stuff. And I've always been a fan of Reiner. When Harry Met Sally, one of my all-time favorites. And Spinal Tap had said is influential. Laserball says, as a kid, I always thought Spinal Tap was a horror until I watched it as a kid. Yeah, I could see that. No one wants it sounds scary. So yeah, this popped out, and I think this might be, this is the original story. So this is this podcast, RHLSTP 477 with Richard Herring. Shout out to Richard Herring. Don't know who he is. Sounds like he's got a successful podcast. It's hosted on Acast, so he probably has some issues with IT like I do. But he interviewed Rob Reiner, and this is where it dropped. This is where the news dropped that Spinal Tap 2 is coming. Reiner, who directed the original film, said, we're making a sequel. We're going to start shooting at the end of February, and everybody is back. I wonder if that includes Fran Drescher. Tony Hedger, of course, has passed away. But maybe Fran Drescher, fresh off the SAG win, ? That'd be good. Richard Herring of Lee and Herring fame. I don't know that, David McKay. God bless him. He sounds like he's got a great career going. Tell me how he did it. Director revealed he will reprise his role as filmmaker Marty DeBurgi. McKean, Guest, Shearer are all set to return. In addition to Paul McCartney and Elton John, Reiner teased a few more surprises, including an appearance in the sequel by Garth Brooks. You don't want to just do it to do it. You want to honor the first one and push it a little further with the story. He told Deadline in 2002 about moving forward with the sequel. I guess that is, there you go. They're doing it. They're doing it. They're doing it. And I like that. And here's the thing. I like that quote from Ryder. It shows an awareness. There's some of the horrible headlines. Shows an awareness of how you could do it wrong. And is it going to the well? Is it extending it for the sake of extending it? Time will tell, and the quality of the movie will provide that answer. But it isn't like Spinal Tap ended in '84 and Guest, McKean, and Shearer and no one else touched it. They kept going with it. They'd play shows. They release records. They'd appear on other things, appear on The Simpsons, Saturday Night Live, when Christopher Guest and Harry Shearer joined the cast after this dropped, I believe. And Michael McKean was offered to join the cast, but didn't join until the 90s, which was a weird run he was an older cast member. He was like my age when he joined the cast, so there's still hope. And so my point being, it's not like they're not afraid to do a little sell it out, but they're going to do it in the right way. And I trust Christopher Guest as an artist of a certain level of integrity to a stubborn point. He's not going to just do things to do things. He had stopped producing his mockumentary series again. Christopher Guest doesn't like that because doesn't feel he's mocking the people. It's a character study. The last one he had that series on HBO with Chris O'Dowd that I thought was going to be more in the style of the documentary parodies. It wasn't. It was a good show, but it was a little out of left field for me. And then he did one with mascots. I think it was on Netflix, and it kind of quietly popped out a couple years ago. I don't know if you guys all saw that one. And it wasn't as good as the other Guest films. I couldn't tell you why. Just maybe it's one of those, it is what it is. It wasn't as good. And then he's kind of wrapped those up. So if Guest is involved, I think it's going to be good. Michael McKean is still very active. You see him on Twitter a lot. He's very plugged in. I trust him. And then again, Harry Shearer, being a known prick in the business, he's not going to do anything he doesn't want to do. So I'm excited. I don't make this whole episode about Spinal Tap, but the thing I love about that movie is it's so influential in terms of films and comedy. And the people in it, you got a young Dana Carvey, you got Bruno Kirby, all these people just pop up and appear in them. I'm going to imagine everyone listening to me at this point is watch Spinal Tap. If you haven't, do it. But also in terms of music, there's so many bands and artists from different eras who point to that movie and say that is the most real rock and roll documentary ever, and it's not a real band. At least at the time when it was filmed, it wasn't a real band. Yeah, you could say Spinal Tap became a real band after a while. I think that's fair. So Laserbolt says it's right. Turn it up to 11 and brace yourself for 12. I'm excited about that. I am excited. We could do a list of favorite Spinal Tap scenes. All right, on BBC iPlayer, the BBC streaming app, the volume goes up to 11 because of Spinal Tap. See? That is how influential. This one goes up to 11. Like that little line. My old radio station in the 90s, we used to do, Freddie B was the co-host of the morning show when I started out as the intern and sports guy. And he was a great little editor of carts and sounds and everything and drops. And my music news started with a bunch of little sound collages, and that 10 it up to 11. That was in the clip, so I was always proud about that. Matty Gunner just waking up or going to bed over in the UK. Spinal Tap sequel. Nice. I also think now that we got McKay and Gunner checking in from those posh spots in the world. I also think for me, Spinal Tap being of British origin, skiffle group really, also set the template for like cool rock bands in my life, and cool rock bands that you needed to be British or Scottish or Irish, or you'd have some kind of accent that I didn't have. You had to have a lilt. There was a certain energy that I loved about that. So that was also part of the legacy. Speaking of Irish rock stars, Shane MacGowan passed away, lead singer of the Pogues. He'd been battling some health problems for a while. Passed away at 65. It's great. MacGowan's always been one of those ones that's been one of my favorites off in the corner. I'm not I don't know all the Pogues music, but I love playing them. Playing some Pogues on pop rock and radio. And one of my favorite tunes is Haunted, which he had done in the 80s for the Sid and Nancy movie, but he redid a version outside of his work with the Pogues with Sinead O'Connor in about 95. And always one of my favorite songs. We played a lot on pop rock and radio. When Sinead O'Connor passed away, we played that song. Now it's kind of sad and crazy that both have passed on. Yeah, so he passed away. His wife said, one of the more unique rock stars. I can't sing. I wish I could sing. It would really help me now if I could do some background vocals and some harmonies. I can't. But Shane MacGowan gives me hope that maybe I could. I'm haunted by your love. I'm haunted by your love. MacGowan could do it. I just have too many teeth. God bless him. In 2015, MacGowan he got dental implants. He had lost his teeth, heavy drug and alcohol use, and replaced his teeth. Brave, because look at that. That is what he was. That is what he was. Some people checking in here. Brian Tiller's here. Speaking of singers, go check out the Moonagers, by the way. A Rainy Night in Soho is a great tune. Yeah, go check out the Moonagers. We are so close. The Moonagers. We have one song out, and we're finalized, and we're so close to announcing when the 7-song release is coming out. It could be out within. It's going to be a Christmas time release here. Fairy Tale of New York, another great Pogue song, or MacGowan song. But go to the evil Spotify, all right? And I do think they're evil. But just listen to the Moonagers on Spotify. You can hear. Oh, Dave McKay says, tell me, where can I find the Moonagers? Well, yeah, you can go to themoonagers.bandcamp.com and you can buy the track directly from the bands. Bandcamp is going through some transitions, but it's still the best place to support artists directly. Go to Apple, purchase it on Apple Music. I think 99 cents gets you a track. We'll eventually see 5 cents from that. But if you go to Spotify, and it's the Spotify Wrap, and it's a weird thing. I still use Spotify. I still listen to things on Spotify, and I still share like my Spotify Wrap because it's a good way of showing people, hey, here's who these artists are. Like my top 5 was Moonagers. My top 5 songs of the year included like Willie Nelson, Noel Gallagher, U2. They're going to be all right. If you don't listen to them or seek them out on Bandcamp, I don't know if there's a Bandcamp site for U2. They're going to be okay with money. But the other song was Moonagers and Pom Poms, Money on the Floor. Seek out Jessie Peo and Pom Poms. Support her and that band directly. Support the Moonagers directly. So I still think this is where we're at. I'm going to share my Spotify Wrapped to support the artists that are on there. Kath Myers was my top 3, number 3rd most listened to artist of the year. Support Kath Myers directly. You all share it, and that can share music. Share music. Let's turn it around as best we can on these big corporations where Spotify at best is paying 0.0003 per track. But that said, all that to say, I'm asking a favor as we start to sign out here. I don't want to look at the serious news today. We'll be back tomorrow in the afternoons. Excuse me. Oh, that's the wrong show. That's the show everyone remembers me doing. Anytime, not the afternoons. Anytime with Ken and Alden in the early afternoon. We're going to get back tomorrow. I missed last week, of course, because of the sickness, the illness. We'll talk some serious news. We'll talk some silly news. We'll talk it all. But go to Spotify. Put on Tell Me by the Moonagers. Listen to it. I'm very proud of it. You got Brian Tiller's vocals. I describe it as Petty-esque. There's been some other wonderful descriptions. I love the lyrics. I'm proud of my lyrics for that song. Just put it on repeat. Put it on repeat. Mute your computer. And then just walk away. And then about 2-3 hours later, you'll be like, man, my computer's on. And you'll go to Spotify and you'll have played our song 50 times. You'll have played our song 50 times. And we're so close to hitting that 1,000 listen threshold so that Spotify will pay us maybe 11 cents. We're so close. Make my dreams come true. Also, Sports Card ASMR is 3 subs away from becoming a half monetized channel where I can start opening up some super thanks and stuff like that. So if you're an ASMR fan, head over to Sports Card ASMR as well. All right, I'm back, kind of. Sean Rooms says, my brother made my top 5 artists in his eyes. The publicity is always welcome. Wish Spotify would pay these good people. Agree. Sean, feel free to drop the link at any point. Real McCoy says, if you queued up on Spotify now. JW Bassman. I always say Bassman. I'm thinking of the Bassmatic 2000. I think because you have those numbers, but it's Bassman like Paul McCartney. I like that. And Matty Gunner agrees. Your brother's great. Share the music. All right. I'm starting to get a little hot. That's the thing about this COVID I've learned. A lot of you battled it before. Just when you think you're okay. No. Starts telling you aren't. 20 minutes of copy, the Hangout Show. Join, become a member of the channel to hang out live. Be in the chat if you're watching later. Thanks for watching later. Just a little way to wake up with all of you. See ya. Bye.